What is thy bidding, my master?
There is a great disturbance in the Force. It would seem we're being forced to close the Disney Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel just 1 year after opening.
How is that possible?
Apparently, people aren't willing to part with $10,000 a night to stay in my glorious Star Cruiser. Peasants.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed.
Ha! You're just jealous you didn't think of it yourself, Lord Vader. Although I should have perhaps gone with your idea to include windows in the bedrooms. Anyway, it would seem that the boys in marketing have been lacking motivation of late.
Perhaps I can find new ways to motivate them.
Good. Don't force strangle them all this time. Otherwise, there'll be nobody left to come up with the next crappy idea.
As you wish, my master.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. It's been a while since I reported on anything Star Wars. I wonder if my audience is even interested in it, to be honest with you. But this is pretty spicy, as the Disney has announced that their extraordinarily expensive Star Wars hotel has failed and will close just 1 year after opening, after trying to charge visitors up to $20,000 for a 2-night, quote, voyage on a fake Orlando spaceship with no windows. Now, look, I understand why there aren't any windows. Immersion is kind of a thing. Like, you want to have that. But I always knew that this price was going to be, like, ridiculous. That, you were going to get the whales for the first 6 months. The people that have an enormous amount of cash and, like, don't really care. You'd be surprised how good nerds are with their money. I always grew up and, like, I spent a lot of time at card shops and stuff like that growing up. And, we didn't spend our money on clothes or shoes or deodorant or colognes. But we always had money for, buying a Mox Ruby or like expensive Magic card or expensive D&D stuff. So there are a lot of people that maybe they're not rich, but they've been good with their money. They save up and they have that. But the expensive Star Wars hotel has failed. The Galactic Star Cruiser was originally hailed as, quote, an experience rather than a hotel. By the way, it's not $20,000, but I want to remind people today's the last day for the 10% site-wide sale over at coffeebrandcoffee.com, my coffee company. Right here in the United States, we hired 2 brand new employees now in the last 2 weeks to help with fulfillment, to get orders out even faster. We have 15 different organic teas, 3 real cacao cocos, and about 20 different coffees to choose from, both flavored and unflavored, including our red hot summer cold brew sampler packs and cold brew bags that are extremely popular. I would love to earn your business today if you would like to give us a try. Link is in the description below. The expensive and immersive Star Wars hotel at Walt Disney Florida is closing after just 1 year of taking guests on the 2-night voyage that could cost up to $20,000. Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser was originally sold as an experience rather than a hotel and cost $1,200 per person per day. However, one tricked out suite has been reported to come in at a whopping $20,000 for the trip. The immersive lodging, which is based in Orlando, does not have any windows and will carry its final voyages out in September, 4 years after it was announced at the D23 Expo in 2019 as part of the park's $1 billion Star Wars land. The news of the closure just comes just months after DailyMail.com reported that Disney was struggling to fill up bookings in the first place and had reduced availability for the fall. Disney, under reinstated CEO Bob Iger, has made a multitude of cost-cutting choices, including cutting thousands of jobs, lowering ticket prices to attract more guests. While the news of axing the Star Wars hotel comes on the same day that Iger pulled the plug on the company's new $1 billion housing complex for staff in Orlando, in a move that many see as a possible slight against Governor Ron DeSantis. Here's the thing with the Star Wars. Here's the reality of the expensive Star Wars hotel. If they didn't screw it all up, they would have had no problem selling these. If they didn't alienate half of their fandom, they wouldn't have had nearly the problems they did renting out this room. That's just the truth of it. I've always said that I'm not like a hardcore Star Wars guy. I was more a Star Trek guy. I appreciate them both. But when Star Wars was a thing, I was playing Magic the Gathering and like D&D and other card games like Rage and other stuff like that. I was more interested in that stuff. Star Wars was always around me, but I was never like a diehard fan. So I wasn't personally offended when Disney destroyed the franchise, but many of my friends and viewers were. I mean, the things they did to Luke Skywalker, basically saying like, it's like, is this all the spin-off of The Last Jedi? The movies, other than Rogue One, in my opinion, and I've seen all of this, Disney Star Wars movies, are completely forgettable. Rogue One, I think, was like low-key my favorite. All the rest were rentals at best. Maybe you could say the very first one that they released was worth seeing in the theater, but not. I mean, everything else is pretty boring. The hotel, which is located near Disney World in Orlando, created major buzz when it first opened over its price and amenities. Included 2-day expense is a cabin or suite, ongoing immersive entertainment, food and beverages in and out of space, and admission to Disney Hollywood Studios. A room can accommodate 3 adults and 1 child. Is priced at $6,000, not including taxes and fees. A cabin with 2 guests comes in at $5,000, while $4,800, while 3 comes in at $5,300. There is 1 suite referred to as a Grand Captain that holds 8 individuals, includes a kitchenette, a living room, and multiple bathrooms. The experience is also offered to guests a chance to jump into the Star Wars universe and partake in the resistance against Kylo Ren and the First Order. Galactic Star Cruisers also won a Thea Award for Outstanding Achievement in a themed entertainment space. Yeah, but nobody could afford it. Like, this is cool and all, but imagine spending this kind of money to sleep in a cubby. And like, the other thing is, how many little kids are into Star Wars? Not many. So it's like they tried to balance between the two things, and plus they're selling you tons of stuff while you're there. The drinks are enormously expensive. In a statement Wednesday announcing the closure, Disney officials called Star Cruiser one of their most creative projects ever. So I've never seen Disney fail faster, though. It's one of our most creative projects ever. It's been praised by our guests and recognized for setting a new bar in innovation, but it failed. What are you talking about? The premium boutique experience gave us an opportunity to try new things on a smaller scale of 100 rooms. And as we prepare for its final voyage, we will take what we've learned to create a future experience that could reach more of our guests and fans. Meaning, you can't build a business charging $5,000 for a week, for 2 nights, by the way. And also, the other thing is, when you go to Florida, you let's say you're going to stay 2 nights in this Star Wars hotel. You're probably staying 4 or 5 nights in a different hotel too. Not everybody lives in Florida. And imagine like driving 6 hours to stay in there for 48 hours for $5,000. Like, there better be some sweet handy action. Otherwise, I don't even understand. You'd have to be like, hey, look, spend your money how you want. I'm not like trying to be that way about it, but it's actually insane if people were paying $5,000 for this. I mean, I think it was cool. If there was something like in the Magic the Gathering universe, like Dominaria or something like that, would I spend $2,000? $2,000 maybe, but $2,000 would have to be like 3 or 4 days and nights and have like excursions and stuff like that. And come with like super special limited edition Magic cards that have a secondary market value. This kind of stuff. In March, Daily Mail reported the booking portal for Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser showed reduced rates during October, November, December, Christmas time, when everyone goes to Florida. At the time, the reservation system showed a hotel was taking bookings for just 3 or 4 times a week. The video pulled from YouTube. Now, in the end of 2022, Disney was offering discounts up to 50% for the experience in December. Disney deleted a promotional video showing the hotel. The video was pulled from YouTube and Twitter due to negative comments. The lightsaber training looks about as exciting as a roadside sobriety test, one tourist wrote. Another wrote, way too expensive. This is like an idea that could have worked. An idea that could have worked if they didn't alienate half of their, half of their fans that actually had the money to go. You know what I mean? Like the people that actually had the money to go are the people that were in love with the original trilogy and even the prequels they liked. Like these people are in their 30s and 40s and 50s and they have the money. The people, and they just ran them all off with The Last Jedi and this crap. Of course, the politics too. When you talk about, what's going on there, you'll see it'll be the whole park if they continue to charge obscene prices for tickets. I get that it's not easy to keep everything at a certain standard, but you can't expect blue-collar people to keep paying more and more and more. Well, I don't even know how people afford it. You can be smart about going to theme parks. My family always did. Like, we didn't eat in the park. We'd eat in the parking lot. We'd eat breakfast. We'd go to like a buffet for breakfast, and then we might have lunch in the park, but then we'd leave to go eat dinner. That's how middle class, that was like 20 years ago. That's how middle class people enjoyed these parks. So I don't know how they do it now, because it's got to be extremely expensive. This was doomed from the start, but I still say it would have worked if they didn't try ripping everyone off and if they didn't alienate half their viewers. Make sure to check out coffeebrandcoffee.com with promo code DELISH today on Friday. I'd love if you gave us a chance to earn your business, and we'll talk to you again real soon.